There are times when terror, fear, there are times when you can't look up things on Google even, and these times come to everybody. Emergencies. I faced such an emergency recently when my partner Uzi passed away very suddenly in his sleep. I, being his only known living relative, I was called on that day to do a whole lot of things, to go places like the morgue, like the post-mortem place. I had to answer police questionings. The whole ordeal started very early in the morning, and it went on till very late at night. And with my little boy in tow, I had to go through the whole thing. Like many times in my life, herbs had prepared me for this. When I'd woken up in the morning, I'd felt a message from a herb called yellow jasmine. The homeopaths call it gelsemium, as did the older herbalists. So gelsemium called me and said, make a Super Nervine mix. And I usually am so stingy with my herbs. I don't like wasting a drop of it. I do not like wasting a drop of my herbs on anything. I want to know who it's for, and I like to know, I would like to know that that person is going to take every last drop of them because they are so precious. But that day I made a Super Nervine mix, and I must say, I didn't know for what or for who I was making it, but it was for me. Because I was out of my depth that day. I was stretched beyond my limit. And all I had with me was this little bottle, this really untidy, dirty little bottle with some herbs mentioned and many not mentioned, but which I know I put in. I want to share with you the herbs that I put in, because these herbs kept me going. The whole day long, I had to spend hours in front of a morgue that stank. You can imagine what it stank of. It stank. I had a headache from the stink. It was one very, 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 very difficult day. And I can tell you that these herbs were. So, let me give it to you straight. There are herbs that help a person deal with terror. Out of your brains with shock and terror. Gelsemium, yellow jasmine, aconite, 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 and backflower rescue remedy. Now, the gelsemium, the aconite, and the rescue remedy, you just need a few drops of them in, let's say, 25 or 50 ml. That's about an ounce or two of I use colloidal silver. You can use vinegar, you can use just spring water, you can use tap water if it's just for the day or even 2 days. So those three. That's for dread, for terror, and for shock. And now I'm going to tell you the others, which are really important. Gotu kola, Centella asiatica. This one will keep your organs calm. Now, a lot of people don't know how much of stress we go through because one or other of our internal organs is overheated or stressed out, especially the liver, but all the others as well. Gotu kola actually helps the brain by keeping the organs calm. Skullcap, Scutellaria, goes straight to the head, just calms everything down, clarifies stuff. You're not likely to go flying off the handle about anything if you've had skullcap. You're going to be able to see this is black, this is white, this is grey if you've had skullcap. Mugwort. Now, mugwort is very important if you hadn't slept enough. The interesting thing about mugwort is it can stabilize your consciousness. Let me explain it this way. We are all at any given time in some stage of sleep or waking. You can be 10% asleep and 90% awake, or 30% asleep and 70% awake. Something like that. It varies. Now, a lot of people have this problem where that varies too quickly through the day or through the night. When it happens through the night, you say the sleep quality is bad because you don't feel rested enough. When it happens in the day, you say you've not been alert enough or you've not been able to focus. Now, what mugwort does is it kind of stabilizes that changing, so you spend a little longer time in whichever state you are, and then you spend a little longer time. And what happens is this adds up to you actually being able to deal with the situation better, because it's not like you started dealing with a problem and 10 minutes down the line you're feeling different, so you start all over again dealing with the same problem but now in a little different way, because now you're feeling a little different than you were 15 minutes ago. So for stability you use mugwort, cactus and hawthorn. These are for the heart. When you are using something that you need to prop you up through a difficult time, you must support the heart, because the heart is maintaining the rhythm of the body, and anything out of the ordinary disrupts the rhythm. So you support the rhythm, you support everything else. Cactus and hawthorn, Craticus. Right. The last two here are Salix nigra and Sambucus nigra. You notice both end with nigra. That means black. Sambucus nigra is the black elder, and Salix nigra is the black willow. both of them have this, they are very different trees, of course, but why I always put them in a nervine, not always, but most of the time, is because the people that need nervines or support through difficult times like that, they're most likely people who have been, I won't say ungrounded, but people that have post-traumatic stress disorder to some extent or the other, and that tends to affect the current moment sometimes a little more than it should. Experience is a good thing. Experience with tragedy is a very good thing. It's invaluable. It's invaluable. There are some things you only learn through experience. Now, Salix nigra, that's the black willow, and Sambucus nigra, which is the elderflower, they will help you use your experience of tragedy without the downside of it, which can creep into the situation if you're not grounded enough. These are very grounded trees. They're trees. They've got roots that go very deep. The black willow often grows next to water. And you know the earth near water is soft. And so the roots are so constantly aligning their fine little tips, aligning to what they want, to where the nutrition is. And this is very important. This is very important in times of stress, that you are able, minute by minute, second by second, to align yourself to the current situation, to use your experience without getting hampered by unnecessary, in the moment, unnecessary memories or habits even. These two can help you come out of habits that you accumulated in dealing with stress, because they help you ground yourself in the moment and you automatically come out of old habits. So that's it. That's my Super Nervine mix, and it got me through hell. It really did. And you can make your own or get me to make it for you.